Is this the worst football that Rangers fans have seen in 3 years? Is it worse than Ainsworth football? That's what we're asking Jawad this week on Where Rangers Walk. We're also asking, is anyone's faith in Marty waning? It shouldn't, but we'll ask the question anyway. And are refereeing standards what they were 3 years ago? Are we getting worse and worse every single year? Plus, what's the best North American or South American import into QPR, given we had a big election in the US of A this week? Welcome to Where Rangers Walk. Welcome back, Jawad. Let's get straight into it, shall we? Look, no one expected you to get anything from Leeds, so we won't comment too much on the result, but let's talk about the football. Is this the worst football you've seen in 3 years?
It's a different kind of bad to Ainsworth. I think with Ainsworth, the expectation was always that he was going to play that style of football, and it was never going to change. But I think at the moment, the quality of player that we have out on that pitch is arguably the worst that I've seen. I would say 6 of the 11 that finished the game yesterday wouldn't get in quite a number of League One teams. I think it's that bad. And the performance last Tuesday against Middlesbrough was again as bad as I can remember for quite a long time. So I think it's up there, and I think probably the biggest thing compared to Ainsworth is that expectations were higher. So I think maybe the disappointment is bigger now.
Yeah. That's a really good point. Paul says in Marty, I trust he needs to change system now and play 2 up top. We've been crying out for this every week. Is it now the time to do it against Stoke?
We haven't got 2 strikers to play up top, and you can play Alfie Lloyd, you can play a youngster up there, but there isn't even seemingly an 18-year-old in the youth team again that is ready to even be on the bench. So Michael Frey looks like he's going to be out still. Sella is, I wouldn't even call him a striker, to be honest with you. So even if you wanted to change it to 2 up top, there's no options up there. So he's tried changing it to 3 at the back. It hasn't really worked. I think his options are so limited at the moment that I don't think he even knows kind of how to stop this run.
The fan unrest is growing, isn't it? That's clear. Harry says, Harry is a very, very positive tweeter. I've seen most of the time. He now says he's sick of this team, gone beyond caring. The young players starting and off the bench are showing more than the seasoned pros is an absolute joke. God knows what you'll do of the international break that changes that. With the worst defence in the league, we've got the worst attackers in the league, comfortably the worst midfield too. The keeper is okay. Coach is rubbish. Terrible owners, con man as a CEO.
Apart from that, though,
apart from all that,
I think. Go on. Sorry.
No, sorry.
I think the biggest thing that you see on social media is the criticism of the CEO and the board. There's radio silence from the chairman. We've not heard from him for months and months. They gave the keys to the club to this 26-year-old that people warned us that it's a bit of a risk, and it's proven that way as well. And kind of in the short term, the only thing that really can change that might have an impact is the manager. But you're probably going to be getting rid of the best manager that we've had in some time because of the recruitment model was so bad in the summer. So it's a really tough one, I think.
There are some people that want Marty out, Jawad. Are you? You're not comfortable with that. Here's one of them. Martin says, on the one hand, I think he should go, but on the other hand, I think Marty is the man to get us out of this mess. So many new signs and injuries will, of course, make a season difficult. Hope he can turn it around. If we do go down, I hope he stays and we get promoted again together. There's a few shouting that he should go. We will never call for Marty's head on this channel, but can you understand where people are coming from?
I think that last tweet sums up my feelings perfectly. I think on one hand, the form has been that bad that you think any other club, the manager would probably be sacked by now. But we definitely won't be able to attract any kind of manager of that that caliber, especially with the model. And if they look into how the club's been run, the fact that they'll have no power over signings, the players they've got to work with are nowhere near good enough for this level. But how else can you change it? The injured players aren't coming back anytime soon. Dembele's probably out till January, February time. Ilias Chair looks like he might have a bad one as well, so he's going to be out for a few weeks at least. And there's no real news on the injured players if they're coming back after the break. So it's really tough, because if he had a full squad, I think we'd probably be doing better than we are now. But even when we did have a full squad, there were decisions that he made that were odd. So I think it's completely splitting the fan base. I think the level-headed ones know that the change of manager probably isn't going to change anything right now.
Where are you at personally?
I think the next game is a big one. I think that will change a lot of opinions if we don't win. I don't see a point in changing it now unless you know you can go and get a decent caliber manager in. There's no point in changing it, having a caretaker manager for 2 weeks over the international break, giving them a couple of games, and then looking to get someone in. And I would have no faith in that CEO appointing anybody anyway. So I think they've got to stick, but the next 1 or 2 games, I think, will kind of make or break his reign.
Yeah. The rumours were that, well, some people made up rumours that they should get rid of Marty and bring in Mark Robbins, or make an approach to Mark Robbins. I'm not sure he would be entertaining of a relegation scrap. But surely there's no danger that we're going to wake up to news in the next couple of days that he is going to get sacked, are we?
No, he seemed confident yesterday that wasn't on the horizon. I'll be amazed if it happened before the international, sort of before the Stoke game. The Robbins thing, I think over the last season or so, the sort of transfer model at Coventry's changed, and I heard rumblings that there was a bit of kind of discontent between him and the board over that. So I can't see him taking a job like this when he could hold out and get a potential kind of top eight job soon.
Okay. All right then. Let's leave the Leeds game alone there. What did you make of Leeds, just out of interest? Do you think you've seen the Championship winners?
I've got to say, we've played, I think, 4 of the top 6 over the last 3 or 4 weeks, and even Middlesbrough, who beat us 4-1. I've not been impressed with any of them that much. Burnley were poor, Borough, Sunderland, and there's not a Championship team yesterday that couldn't have beaten us 2-0 at home. Whoever we played, it would have been at least 2. They've obviously got options, but I think there's that maybe a little bit of arrogance there that might come back and bite them.
Okay.
But,
Right. All right. Good shout. All right. Let's have a look then. Going forward, we've got refereeing decisions. I just want to get your brief take on. You've been the victim, I think, of some really poor shouts so far this season, but they seem to be growing in number across a large number of clubs, to the point where we've got back the conversation of VAR, or what on earth's going on with referees. What's your view on it?
we've been so bad. I haven't really been able to blame the referees for our defeats. I think the decision that I've seen over the weekend, that Stoke and Millwall game, that shirt pull, how the linesman or the referee hasn't seen that, I genuinely can't believe that wasn't given. I think it's just poor across the board, isn't it? I don't think the players make it easy for the referees. I think the appealing, the constant moaning. I think if they did something harsh about the kind of the dissent that the players give, I think that would help. I think players diving doesn't help either. I actually can't remember a decision over the last 5 or 6 weeks in a QPR game that I've been disappointed with, and I think it's genuinely because we've been so poor that you kind of have just accepted everything. The one was that Sunderland red card, which anybody could have seen that was a red card.
Okay. All right. Thanks for that. Just a bit of fun this week then. It's been the American election, so we are asking across our channel. Who's been the best American import to your club? We've extended this to South America as well, given that not many North American players have featured for QPR. So with that in mind, we asked Artificial Intelligence to name the 3 best South American players over the years for QPR. Jawad, who do you reckon they came up with?
Ali Fallin should be
Yep.
number 1.
Yep, absolutely. Wasn't born yet.
Gino Padula, bit of a cult hero at QPR.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Is this South American or
South
both?
American, yeah.
South American. It's definitely not going to be Everton Santos, who's currently looking like a National League player. They're the 2 that I can think of.
It came up with Angelo Ballantyre.
No. He's a young Colombian forward that we kind of had in our youth team, and when Flavio Briatore was in charge, he compared him to Michael Schumacher in terms of like young potential. Don't think he ever made it out of the National League once he left QPR. Yeah, don't think Flavio got the one wrong.
All right, can you guys at home beat that? Please do so. Right, thank you very much, Jawad. Next week we're previewing the Stoke City game, so join us for that. Thank you very much. Enjoy your football.
Take care.
Welcome back to where Rangers